Spiroshock here, ready to speak about Episode 3, Mr. Denton on Doomsday. Another episode written by Rod Serling and features the lead talent of Dan Duryea. So we begin with the focus on our lead character, Al Denton, who is the town drunk, and he is being humiliated and thrown around by the townsfolk. They instigate him to sing a foolish drinking song to give him a drink. And he does, out of desperation and patheticness. So they give him a drink, they throw it, they smash the bottle and throw it to him. And like a dog, he runs to it and just indulges in the alcoholic beverage. It just shows how pathetically he has stooped to as a man. And as he's lying there, we see a man, a peddler, a very mysterious man, watching over the proceedings. And his name is Henry J. Fate. So as Denton is lying in the dirt, drinking, a pistol appears right next to his hand. And he sees it and he picks it up just to examine it. And as he walks over to a friend of his, a madam, whose name is not given, she asks, why does he drink so much? And he simply says, I don't know. I took to the habit and I stuck with it. Again, showing how low he has stooped and how pathetic his life has become. So once again, the townsfolk come out, mainly this cowboy troublemaker, instigates him to sing the drinking song again. And once again he does. And once again they offer him, like a dog, another drink. They call him into the bar for another drink. So as he's walking up, the instigator, the lead instigator, sees that Denton has a gun. And he challenges him to a duel, even though Denton wants nothing to do with that. And the man continues to instigate him. And eventually, Denton shakes the gun, frantically explaining to the man that he does not want any trouble and does not want a duel. The gun goes off and shoots the troublemaker in the hand that he was going to shoot with, rendering that hand inoperable. So, obviously, the man gets very angry, and Denton frantically begs the man, stating, I didn't mean, it was an accident. So the townspeople are very impressed by his marksmanship, and they offer to buy him a drink, bring him into the bar. But the troublemaker comes in and draws his weapon and threatens Denton to face him. And again, Denton moves his gun, frantically telling the man it was an accident. He wants no trouble. And the gun again goes off accidentally, hits a lamp, and the lamp falls and immobilizes the troublemaker's other hand. So again, the town is surprised and overjoyed at Denton's newfound, we find out once again found, talent. And Denton is just very confused. So he exclaims that the bartender offers him a drink, and he actually says, I've had enough, which is actually a beautiful line from this episode, because he was a drunk for years. This new turn of events has made him think about changing his life and turning his life around. So he exclaims, again, he will not drink anymore, and that he wants a shave, which is just symbolism of that he wants to try and clean up his life due to this event. His lady friend comes up to him as Denton walks out of the saloon and happily tells him everything is going to be different and much better from now on. And he just shakes his head, still very somber, stating that he once was a good shot back in the day, and many would come to challenge him, and he would defeat them. And one day, he was challenged by a man, and he won. Denton shot and killed him. and he found out it was a 16-year-old boy, and he left him for dead. And ever since then, that was the reason for his guilt and turn to drink. And he was not happy to get back in this saddle because he thought it would happen again. But somberly, he walks home, gets a shave, cleans up, and of course, as he thought, it started again. Two men come to tell him that one of the fast guns are coming to challenge him. And at first, he tries to convince them there's no reason for this, and they just laugh, being simpletons, and he agrees. So as he decided to actually run away, to leave town so he wouldn't hurt anyone, he's stopped by Henry Fate, who at first Denton states that he just doesn't want anything. He doesn't know why Henry's here. And Henry states he knows that Denton is leaving and that he shouldn't. And Denton tries to convince him, saying, shall I stay and die? Because earlier scene that I did not mention, he was training and he actually did not have the talent. Obviously, it was this mysterious event that caused him for temporary shooting ability. So Fate encourages him to stay and to face the man, and he offers Denton a tonic, a shooting tonic. And Denton, unconvinced as well as very leery, he still takes the drink of the tonic, and it works. So Fate tells him that it's free, and that just remember that every once in a while, Fate will step in. And that's obviously symbolism right there for what Henry Fate really is. So Denton meets up in the saloon, waits for him, and meets up with the new gunner. And obviously they agree to duel. Denton being reluctant again because the man is still very young. So Denton turns, takes a drink of his tonic, and as he turns back around, he sees the other man has the tonic as well. Both of them stunned, but still the gunner draws, and Denton does as well, and they both are incapacitated. They shoot each other in their gun hand, in their shooting hand, and both are incapacitated. So the gunner, the young man, is disgruntled and shamed, while Denton comes up to the man, and he tells him, "Son, this is not a shameful thing. You were blessed." Him saying this, Denton was stating that this gunner, being a young man, did not make the same mistake and did not get roped into the same mistake that Denton did that turned his life into hell by, say the gunner won, and killed Denton. He would have went on, continue killing, and eventually something, like Denton's situation would happen where he'd kill a young man, as well as, the young man could have been killed by Denton. So the young man doesn't understand and he walks off angrily. But Denton is very happy and he smiles at, obviously, Fate observed the whole situation. And Denton smiles, acknowledging what Fate has done. While the young man, not understanding now, but obviously would understand one day. So that was the end of the episode. And obviously the moral, and actually Sterling stated it perfectly, that Fate helped one man stay out of a pit and another man get out of the pit, meaning Fate helped Denton get out of his slump while he helped prevent the other man, the gunner, the young gunner, from falling into the same pit that Denton fell into. So it was actually a very good ending. But yeah, so overall, the episode, again, not one of the best, and actually not nearly one of my favorites. I was never a big fan of this episode. It is good. The acting is good. Nothing stellar, but good. Directing, average, of course. But good as always. And the writing, again, very light, somewhat bland. The episode goes by very quickly. It's somewhat forgettable. But again, stating pros to my criticisms here, it's still a decent to good episode and definitely still worth a watch. So that was episode 3. I hope you enjoyed the review and analysis, and I hope you tune in again. All right. Thank you.